Hello viewers, happy Holi. Today is the most auspicious day and it's springtime. But those who are WBCS aspirants must not be engaged too much in festivals because your preliminary exam is knocking at your door. Now I have already posted choose the correct option on vocabulary. And tonight I am going to discuss the most important topic, the correction of errors for WBCS preliminary exam. Okay, these are very common mistakes, and these mistakes are generally set, I have seen in the preliminary question papers, that these mistakes are very, very common. Okay, for example, I must not make my introduction lengthy. I see that somebody has joined, and please tell your friends and those who are going to sit for the examination should join the live streaming class. Welcome to my channel, An Easy Step to English Grammar. And I wish you success, because today is the most auspicious day, that is the Happy Holi, and I shall be very happy if you join this class, that is live streaming. Whatever may be, my first example I have seen, no sooner had. No sooner had. For example, no sooner had the accident occurred, no sooner had the accident occurred, then the police reached the spot. So it is the correct sentence, but in your preliminary examination there must be an error. No sooner had the accident occurred, the police reached the spot. They will omit intentionally then. So you must underline the portion where the error occurs. This is the way. Or there are some options like A, B, C and D. The sentence will be divided into 4 parts. The sentence will be divided into 4 parts. And suppose the error occurs in the second part, that is B. You must give the tick or give the round shape sign. Okay? B. No sooner had the accident occurred, then the police reached the spot. No sooner had the rain started, then we took shelter in a temple. No sooner had, then. But in the case of as soon as, there should be no then. For example, as soon as the accident occurred, the police reached the spot. So there is no error in this sentence. If Happy Holi, Anubhav Paul. Okay, listen to the video very carefully and you will be benefited in your future life. Okay. For example, tell your friends to like, comment and subscribe my channel, An Easy Step to English Grammar. Now, as soon as the accident occurred, then the police force reached the spot. So, where is the error? Then. So, when there is as soon as, there should be no then. But when no sooner had, you must use then. Okay? Now come to another common error generally set in the WBCS preliminary examination. For example, hardly had the accident occurred. Just follow me. Hardly had, I have used no sooner had, I have used as soon as. Now I am using hardly had. Hardly had, hardly, rarely, scarcely, barely, all these are negative words. So when there is negative word, the auxiliary verb must precede the subject. Must precede the subject. So in Bengali, I am translating it. Hardly, barely, rarely, scarcely, etc. All these are negative words. এগুলি নাসূচক শব্দ। এবং যখনই এই হার্ডলি দিয়ে, বেয়ারলি দিয়ে, স্কেয়ার্সলি দিয়ে বাক্য শুরু হবে, তখনই ওই অক্সিলিয়ারি ভার্বটি বা সাহায্যকারী ক্রিয়াটি অবশ্যই সাবজেক্টের আগে চলে আসবে। ফর এক্সাম্পল, hardly had the accident occurred when, not then, when the sentence begins with hardly, you must use when. Hardly had the accident occurred when the police reached the spot. Clear? Hardly had the rain started when we took shelter in a temple. Okay? If the when is omitted, you must find the error where there is no when. যেখানে when নেই সেখানে error. যদি সেন্টেন্সটা হার্ডলি দিয়ে শুরু হয়। Okay? So I am teaching you in the bilingual method tonight because there are some grammatical rules. The rules to be remembered in your examination hall. So I have given you examples on no sooner had, as soon as, hardly when. Okay? Hardly when. Now, most important example is neither of the two boys was neither of the two boys was present. Okay, neither of the two boys was present. But actually error will occur when in the sentence you will find neither of the two boys were present. Were present. No, the subject is singular. The subject is singular. Neither of the two boys was present. So you must give the mark under the portion, and you will find the error in the portion if where is used. No. Clear? Now, for example, another. Either of the two boys was present in my class. Not where. Not where. Never use where. Okay? In the case of neither, either, etc., the subject is always singular. Okay? Now, another example I am giving you. A troop of soldiers, you see that soldiers is plural number, but a troop of soldiers was marching on the road, on the street, or in the street, or in the locality, was marching. A troop. Clear? Never use where. At a glance, you will use the plural form. Were marching? No, was marching. A troop of soldiers. A flock of sheep. SHEEP. A flock of sheep was grazing in the field. A flock of sheep was grazing in the field. You see that the error is sheep never becomes sheeps as the plural form. Sheep is always sheep in the plural form. So here there is the error. Sheep and was grazing. Not where. Not where. Clear? Now, come to another point. What happened to you? What happened to you? If you say, what did happen to you? It is an error. Because if you want to get the subject by asking by what, never use auxiliary verb. What happened to you? What happens to you? Clear? What does happen to you is an error. These are the common errors usually we find in WBCS preliminary examination. Clear? Now, how many guavas you have bought from market? No. How many guavas have you? The auxiliary verb must go before the subject. How many guavas have you bought from market? Okay? Another example. I purchased 10 Rohu fish, not fishes. 10 Rohu fishes from market. And the error occurs fishes. Hi. I am discussing the common errors. Fish uncountable, but 10 Rohu fish, not fishes. যদি সমজাতীয় মাছ হয়, the fish of equal quality or species or character, we will never use yes. 10 rohu fishes, 15 katal fishes, etc. But in a pond there are different types of fishes. You may say there are different types of fishes in my pond. In my pond. And if you see that in the basket there are 15 fishes of different kinds, yes, we can use fishes when talks about different types. Yes, thank you very much. So I have discussed 10 common errors which are generally found in WBCS preliminary questions. These are the very important questions and the most common errors. So good night, stay safe, stay mellow, like, comment, share and subscribe if you think that this video will come to your benefit. Please subscribe my channel, An Easy Step to English Grammar, to get all the videos on English grammar and English writing skill, everything else. Good night.